Benoit Jericho here from the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance. Today we are having a quick cup of coffee, and that's right, as always, it is Black Rifle Coffee. Check them out at theblackRifleCoffee.com to order yours up today. As you can see on the little picture, they are not really a sponsor, unfortunately, but maybe they will fix that. So today we have a young man who is probably one of the most hot commodities in EFED right now within our territories. Now, Sander Cool has been all over the place lately. People are finally starting to recognize just how important he is and how hard of a worker he is. He has earned himself title shots in multiple places, and a lot of other big things going on in his life right now, including a recent marriage to his longtime secret love interest, almost, of Nora. People thought she was his sister for a while, then best friend. You know, then there were allegations of more than that, and you know, we can touch on a little bit of everything here, Sander. But again, Sander Cool, welcome to the Cup of Coffee.
Thank you, SBJ. Well, I've been calling from this beautiful location over here. I mean, it's been amazing here. We've been enjoying it for a day so far. I mean, we had to catch a flight actually for that, but
I figured you would have taken that massive yacht that J.K. Ross had gifted you. That was amazing.
Yeah. Well, actually, funny enough, we were actually right at the harbor. We first wanted to take a flight, but then we heard of the gift, so we immediately raced to the harbor. And believe me, that yacht was big. Woo! Man, that thing was big. That was just... We didn't even expect it.
That thing looked like the Titanic.
Yeah, and I mean, that crew, man, I have never seen that many people on a ship, or a yacht for that matter. Whew, man, it was strange having to give out control. Whew, man, it was.
Sorry about that little feedback there. So yeah, by the way, I hadn't officially said congratulations since the wedding. I did get to check it out, but you guys kind of, zoomed out of there pretty quickly in the limo right after, so I didn't get to talk to you guys. So I just wanted to say congratulations to both of you. I know Nora is there with you, so congratulations.
Yeah, she's in the kitchen.
Mrs. Cool. Isn't that crazy to hear? Mrs. Cool.
Well, it's still kind of unbelievable to her. She's still kind of getting used to it, but that will get with time, But
so
yeah, thank you.
Karen and I got married many, many moons ago. It took her a while to get used to it as well.
I mean, the crazy thing is, I said this as well, and I said that, and I always say this. Like I said, I never thought I would have anybody, but then she comes along, and she changes it.
I remember when you first met Nora, and she was training you, and you guys developed a pretty good bond early on, so I remember those days.
I mean, she's still training me very hard, believe me. That never stopped.
Hey, keep it PG.
Alright. I mean, but on a serious note, seriously, she's been a tremendous help to my training. She manages to always come up with one of the best training schedules, and I mean, not to admit, but I mean, I still haven't beat her in training. She's kind of, I'm catching up to her.
I heard that she recently started teaching hot yoga classes to the members of the 3-Dub roster. Is that true?
Sadly, that's not true.
Oh.
But she is busy working on something big in 3-Dub, which I am sure she will reveal soon. given that...
So we don't get any spoilers today.
Sadly not, but the one thing I do want to talk about, and this is something that has been going to my heart, and I've been thinking about it, and I'm just going for it. The whole situation with surrounding the mixed tag team tournament and Webb's actions. Our
mixed
general
tag
manager.
Team tournament. That's in NGW, correct?
Yes, in
Next
it wasn't
Generation
3
Wrestling for those who Next Generation Wrestling. So anyone listening, make sure you check them out. That's was it Xander Webb's show?
Yeah, Andrew Webb's show.
Andrew Webb, sorry about that.
Andrew Webb, yeah. It's an amazing show. We got two brands, Overdrive and Aftershock. I'm on Overdrive, Nora is on Aftershock. I'll soon make a trip to Aftershock, by the way, for a match.
So hold on one second. Sander Cool. Before you go taking off any further, you just told me that you are on one brand and Nora is on the other brand, correct? So I remember a very recent history of a certain couple making a huge fuss about even the possibility of them being drafted to separate brands. But I didn't see the same amount of stink or even an announcement or any sort of fight put up over you two not being on the same show in NGW.
I mean, well, about that,
NGW about that, Sander Cool.
Well, allow me to address this. NGW is our second home company outside of HWA, as you are well aware. The reason we chose to stay on different brands in NGW was because Nora wanted to have her own success. Because Webb wanted to give her own success and wanted to see how well she did on her own. Granted, the CFT had a play into that, which he didn't tell me, because he had signed her over to Aftershock secretly. But in HWA, we felt like we needed to stick together. In HWA, we have that bond. We have the bond in both companies, but in HWA, there's just so much chaos going on that people needed unity in HWA. And in NGW, I wanted to see for myself as well how well my wife could do. You know? I wanted to see it for myself.
Wife?
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, I'm getting used to it myself. Come on, everybody. You know.
All right. So I think Sergio and I will give you a pass for now. I know you seem to be getting on Sergio's nerves there for a little while.
I mean, once again, and this is the same kind of with Rita. There's so much chaos going on right now in HWA. They needed unity. They need two people who know how to bring that feeling of unity. I can't stop talking about this because HWA is such a good company, and I hate to see it in so much chaos right now. Because yes, the brand split is a solution, but if you keep us apart, there's only going to come more chaos. Then you don't have a united front. And that's what we're trying to achieve.
I think what Sergio's main motive, Sergio and the shareholders association, I think what their motive is to basically divide and conquer. So split up this sort of chaotic factions and all these different, heel type characters, split them apart from each other, and then add in guys like yourself and Nora, and Rock Leone, who came in, and Nova Reese, and see if we can sort of combat some of this chaos by divide and conquer method.
Exactly, and that was our concern as well. We have been partners, lovers, teammates for 2 years now, and if we were to set up, I think we would be fine, as we did in NGW, but in HWA we felt like this was the only right choice that we could do. Even if it meant that we had to split up, I definitely felt like we would have found a way to somehow still be together and still do our things. But
Understood.
But back to NGW. So as I was saying, with the tag team tournament, as I was saying, Drew AH
separate shows with no fight back. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah. About that, once again, I was trying to see how well she did.
Story. Keep going. I'm just giving you heck, Sander. Cool. You keep
I know.
Your NGW story. Nick Plowden has become a good friend of mine. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure Andrew Webb is going to take this and probably going to say to me that I shouldn't have done this, but I'm going to anyway. He knows I'm a rebel. Anyway, Drew AH held this, aka the main roster held a mixed tag tournament. The winners of that tournament would receive a title shot of their own brand. This can be Drew AH or NGW. So, as of course the teams were being made, you had SNK and Pandora, Trevor Valentine and Michael and Rose Michaels, who she apparently is still around. You had DTM and one other girl from Drew AH. You had Michael Blaze and Crystal Frost, who apparently, we know them from HWA as well. And then NGW needed a third team. Here's the thing. I was injured due to KD, who kind of went out of his way to try to stop me. I mean, that guy is a bitch. I respect him, but I mean, that guy's a prick sometimes. Injuring my knee again for 2 months. Anyway, I get a call.
King Dominator, you mean?
Yeah, King Dominator. His ego over there, believe me, I would love to smash it in again, but he proved to be the better man. I respect that.
Now, King Dominator is drafted to your brand, the Pandemonium brand as well, in HWA. So
yeah,
we see each other there.
Yeah, well, maybe it might be one of the rare times that we either, I guess we'll get to blows or somehow agree on something. Hopefully. Anyway, I get a call from Drew AA's headquarters that NGW hadn't named a replacement for our team, because of my injury, of course. What happened is this. I later on went to the doctors for a checkup, for my monthly checkup, right? To see if I could compete in a mixed match tournament. Those doctors originally didn't clear me. However, stick with me on this. I later on hear a familiar voice in SNK telling me to trust him, and all of a sudden I was cleared by the doctors, which of course is strange. Then I had my match with DTM, and DTM broke the rules, as usual, and he decided to keep his partner on Nora down, and then essentially helped her get the win over Nora. Then things got even worser, because what had Pandora done? And SNK, by the way, they had mind-controlled Nora to stay down. Because they wanted us to trust them. And then they won the tournament.
There's an awful lot of supernatural
going
on over in NGW.
Well, that's not even the crazy part. Remember how I said to you that Pandora is Nora's sister?
Mm-hmm.
Right. When we're back, they want to meet because they have to show us something. And then Andrew Webb.
I think NGW needs to go have a little chat with JP, Jonathan Prada, with Lit. I know they are supposed to be a brand off of 3WA, but it sounds like they more fit along the lines of John Prada's Lit, with all this supernatural crap and hypnotizing and
let me just say this:
clowns and all this other stuff going on.
Well, luckily it only happens to us. It does happen to the entire roster, although that did happen at one point, given that I didn't stop him. But anyway, then Andrew Webb does something interesting, and this is where I'm gonna go on a little bit of a truth here. Andrew Webb came out after the tournament saying that I falsified documents because I wanted to compete and punished me by giving me 3 matches. First, at Overdrive, I have to face Bobby Johnson, the guy who injured me. And then, at Aftershock, which is why I'm making a trip, I have to face the dangerous Crimson. Not Crimson Wolf, just Crimson. Different guy. Then, if by some miracle I survive that, I have to face an opponent of Webb his choosing at the Super Show. So here's my message to Webb. Here's my message to Webb. Webb, you say I'm mad at you because I didn't win the big one, or that I didn't compete for 2 months. Hell, I was fine with staying at home. But it's you who didn't name a replacement team. You were the one who, we both weren't informed by management of GOH, but still, you didn't name a replacement. They needed to let us come to the ring to fight for your brand. You didn't name a replacement, so please, tell me that I'm mad at you. I think you're rather mad at me for doing something right this time around. But, hey, continue punishing me, because we both know that when it comes to those ratings, I bring in ratings better than anyone on that roster of yours. So, Webb, continue punishing me, because we both know I'm fucking right. And if you have a problem with that, Webb, come onto the page and come onto live with me. I promise you, I speak the truth.
I see it more, because I've been watching a little bit over there. I see it more as in, he doesn't seem to really be punishing you, Sander. It looks more like he knows what he has, and he's doing different things to use you to bring attention, to drive those ratings up, because he knows that you can overcome all this crap, and it's good writing. He sounds like he's doing some Vince Russo type of stuff over there.
Well, that's what I'm getting, but, Bobby Johnson, I'm fine with that. I've been wanting to get back at that guy. I'm happy with that. But then Crimson, hold on a second here. That guy has, pardon my wording here, has fucked over that roster more times than I can count. That guy has been dominant. That guy is dangerous for a reason. So if he was...
Crap, CFT's on.
Oh... CFT, if you're going to... Oh, by the way, CFT advised him for the punishment. Yeah, guess who advised Webb on the punishment? That was CFT. Now you see why I don't trust it?
Wasn't CFT your best man?
No, that was Tommy Harris. CFT was there because I wasn't nice enough to invite him. Look, CFT advised Webb. I don't know, when those two go advising each other, it's just, it doesn't feel right, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would Asuka say that I need to trust him, knowing what he did to me, and to us, by the way, to me and Nora combined? It just... Those two have always had a plan. And believe me, it hasn't always been in my best interest. It's always been in the interest of those two. So, unless Webb somehow has a miracle planned,
So
please.
What's CFT mean by he told Webb to protect you? He
all
said
right.
that's what it was about. He told Webb to protect you. So apparently he thought he was doing you a favor.
Well, the first prognosis was to let me off and heal for 2 months. Then again, I've been healing for a long time. CFT have been worried about my supposed health for God knows how long, but I felt ready. I increased in health. My anger, I don't know what it's doing to me, but it somehow makes me heal rapidly faster than I had originally thought. CFT wanted to save me. CFT wanted to keep me from that ring. Because, CFT, you and I both know. You and I both know that I was healed enough. So, protecting me... You know you don't need to protect me. Is everything alright over there? SBJ!
What's Nora up to? Are you talking to her or to me? I was listening to your story.
Well, I was talking to her and I was saying, like, I don't need the protective. Yeah, I get it. I was too much. Nora, I was home for a month. What? My healing was going faster. My healing was going good. See? You agree with me. Love it. Do you think I should... I mean, we could, but CFC would then have to pay a huge amount of money, and we both know that he doesn't want to do that, so...
Apparently,
anyway.
It wouldn't be the first time he had to pay a whole lot of money. He just mentioned how you guys went on Dr. Phil and he choked out Dr. Phil. That must have, ended up in a lawsuit, I bet.
Yeah. That one, he was not happy about that one. He tried to give me a mental evaluation and tried to get me off the show. Oh, he was not happy with that outcome.
So when CFT and you were on the Dr. Phil show, did CFT say cash me outside to Dr. Phil and then choke him out? I heard that he actually went there with Dr. Phil.
Well, he kind of went there after he heard that I was cleared enough to compete. That I was mentally good. That's when he became pissed off. We had to run, and he choked out the crap out of Dr. Phil, and I later on saved Dr. Phil.
All right. So he's making it sound like he's there for you, but in all reality, he's just being CFT, and looks like he's trying to set you up for failure and just disguising his actions and motives. Typical CFT stuff.
I mean, isn't that what a CFT always does? CFT only cares for CFT, right?
Yeah, and another big news with CFT, I heard that, you may not even know, but I heard that CFT actually was trying to sign Slick Rick.
I mean, he's always looking for somebody to protect him, right? Now, fine, granted, as my HWA broadcast partner, sure, I'll protect him if it has to come to that, but it's not for him. Simply because he's been my broadcast partner. But outside of that, he can go fuck himself, and I don't care about him.
Well, I guess you can get that out while you're here on YouTube, because you're not allowed to say things like that on Facebook anymore.
The company's Facebook seems to like us.
Sweet Miss Nora has already been banned like twice from the page.
You know how fiery she can get. I know your temper. I know.
The first time I heard her swear, I kind of gasped.
Well, I mean, you know her temper, right? She can get passionate about stuff like me. Like,
I know this passionate, but it's also, I've never really heard her swear.
Well, I mean, it's rare that she does it, but when she does it, it's out of passion, and it's... I mean, the passion comes out when it happens.
Yeah. Now, what else is
Anyway.
going on here? What's your opinion on what's going on in HWA with the brand split, things like that?
Well, I did a whole podcast on it, but I'll get a brief again. I think the brand split is great. Once again, Sergio caught me by surprise, caught us by surprise, really. And I think the brand split was a good choice to make.
Alright, so you're pretty happy with it. A good talent spread on each roster, you think?
Exactly. I mean, the only talent I'm kind of worried about, and you won't believe it, but he's actually kind of staying with us. But then again, he's kind of, well, the one guy I always worry about is either CFT or DTM. You know how I am with DTM, how we are with DTM. So, what is he trying to? What is his goal on Pandemonium? What is he trying to do over there?
I'm always kind of wary of that as well. I don't know if Sergio really understands what he's getting with DTM by drafting him so high.
Yeah.
CFT looks like he popped something up on the screen. I'm kind of wandering around doing this podcast from home, so
Let me take a drink.
Victoria Emerson never swears. I think that she's a little jab at Nora, because Victoria never swears.
Hey,
even though Nora does.
I mean, the thing is, CFT. I mean, allow me to say this. You know, Nora rarely swears. You know, it rarely happens. But it almost never happens, except for when it's passion. But Victoria Emerson, she never swears because you're the one that's doing the talking for her most of the time. So, I mean, just saying, if she ever sweared, it would probably be about how much she has lost in a match. Or how about her high class has not been met. Let's just say it like that. It's more of a low class, but that's not my discreet.
So
but
let's try to talk on the Pandemonium brand real quick. So, the world champion, James Black, drafted over to that show, your show. There's a bit of controversy going on over there with a couple guys from CFT's Townsend Enterprises, Aaron Wade and Lance Hagen. They were supposed to have had a #1 contender match. Another friend of yours, Hired Gun.
Well, can we call them friends?
Yeah, I use that term very loosely. But Hired Gun gets involved for who knows why. No idea what Hired Gun's motives are. I don't know what he's after. Don't know what he wants. Don't know if he works by himself, works alone. He talks. Now we've had him officially make statements starting, but we still have no idea on what his motives are and how he picks his targets, or why or anything at this point. So we had him get involved. So now there's no clear #1 contender. What's your thought? Do Sergio have them fight each other again? What's your take on that, Sander?
Knowing Townsend Enterprises and knowing how they operate, because I know them very well, knowing how they operate, I have a feeling Townsend Enterprise. I have a feeling that they're going to fight it out amongst each other, or, and I'm going to say this knowing that CFT will hate me for the rest of my life, he's going to try to buy them. He's going to try to make it a triple threat match.
Who would be the third person?
The champion himself, maybe.
So
you see what I'm trying to do here?
Yeah, try to coax him into a triple threat match with the champion and make it basically a 2-on-1 is what you're getting at.
Exactly. Like I said, Townsend Enterprises always tries to get the numbers in their favor. If they think right, then they could make it a triple threat match, put James Black in there, double team him, and then they essentially only need to decide who wins the match between the two of them.
And that's very well something that CFT could possibly trying to work out right now. I see that as well.
I mean, I'm the one who normally gives him the ideas, so
you give the ideas.
I mean, come on.
The mastermind behind Townsend Enterprises?
I'm not the mastermind behind it. CFT runs it, but I mean, every time I say something, CFT seems to steal it. If you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. I'm starting to get suspicious of you, Sander. You know, many people may have thought of this, that where every once in a while between, you know, these nice cars that you end up with, CFT getting you the suit, you always seem to be involved with something with CFT.
I mean, granted,
one might accuse Sander Cool, or at least see that Sander Cool could actually be part of Townsend Enterprises.
I
secretly.
mean, allow me to say this. Allow me to say this once for a while in the world. The fact that, I mean, the car was Nora's idea, I didn't know about that, because, I mean, she's way too nice, and she gives me way too many nice things, which she knows she doesn't have to. And, I mean, me being involved in CFT's business, I mean, you know how much I like to stop CFT from doing harm to others, or trying to, you know, just ruin things for the better, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just making sure, because, you know, you guys have an awful lot of involvement, and at times, it's almost as if it's a friendship, especially you two, your banter on the broadcasts, and every company you go to, you two seem to be, you know, involved with something together. It's almost like you guys are trying to pull the wool over the EFED world's eyes, and you're actually in cahoots or even part of Townsend Enterprises.
I mean, I'm
not to steer rumors up or anything, but
allow me to say this: I'm not a part of Townsend Enterprises, nor will I ever be a part of Townsend Enterprises, because those guys are just a bunch of guys with huge egos. Just saying. But what I'm trying to say is this: CFT and we hate each other's guts. I mean, we couldn't be different personalities, but I mean, CFT just... I just try to stop CFT from ruining things, you know? Like...
Alright.
That guy just... I wish he hoped he died in somewhere... I hope that...
Now, statements made, just for the record's clear, any statements made such as hoping someone dies does not reflect on the opinions, thoughts, outlooks of SBJ or the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance as a whole. That is, you know, on the record, that is a statement made by Sander Cool, not an opinion of myself or the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance.
Go with a little...
Go, keep going, Sander.
Go with a little bit of good advice. Because, by the way, let's just remember, at NGW Revenge 2, it's me versus CFD in a no holds barred match. The winner of that match will prove to be the true man between the two of them. So just remember that for a second. Just remember, June, NGW Revenge 2, CFT versus Sander Cool. We settle it once and for all.
And that's
once
on
again.
what? Next Generation Wrestling
Yes.
on
Next
YouTube.
Generation Wrestling. Next Generation Wrestling, and see if he will pull off the suit, go into his wrestling gear, and he fights me one more time. I injured him. He wants payback. That's fine with me. I'll injure him again. And this time it won't be just a
noticing
shoulder.
an awful brutal side of you every now and then, Sander Cool. Ever since you started winning titles and moving yourself up in the ranks.
Sometimes you have to get a little bit brutal to get the job done. You know what I'm saying?
All right. I have to keep an eye on you, Sander.
Don't you always keep an eye on me, SBJ?
That's true.
I mean, it's the same actually with, well, the whole rest of the roster. They always keep an eye out on me. It's good to have backup sometimes, you know?
I hear you. So what, we talked NGW, we talked HWA. Where else are you? You're over in 3-Dub, right? What's going on over in 3-Dub with Sander Cool?
Well, 3-Dub is... I have it hard in 3-Dub. Let me just say this.
Okay.
Let's just say that losing my briefcase has been hard on me. Hard on us, too.
Who'd you lose your briefcase to and when?
I lost the Soul Survivor briefcase at Texas Stampede when I faced King Red for the 3-Dub Championship in a last man standing match.
All right, and again, that's the Texas Stampede show. That's the last big pay-per-view. Check them out, folks, on Worldwide Wrestling Network, on YouTube as well. See their action. That's Drew Gessner's show. You hear everyone refer to them as 3-Dub, but that's actually Worldwide Wrestling on YouTube. Check that out. A lot of familiar faces over there, as well as a lot of faces that you may not be used to seeing. So go check them out. Sorry, a little plug there. Sander, keep going.
Yeah, I'm good. Ever since losing that match, it's been hard on me. It's really been hard on me. I just hope one day I can make it right.
And that was your cash-in for it, right? So you're no longer the briefcase
I'm no longer
holder.
the briefcase. No.
So myself, personally, I would have loved to see... you take out King Red over there and, maybe send the Red Army packing. But, good effort, though.
Thank you. I mean, the effort was good and the effort was... And maybe I just thought too quickly. Maybe I just thought I could take it and maybe... Like I said, time had taught me an invaluable lesson over there. It taught me a valuable lesson because it taught me a lesson that I was too hasty, that I was too
You think you
rushed.
should have held on to the briefcase a little longer and maybe
waited
played some
out.
head games, maybe surprise entrance to something after Red maybe already had a match.
Something like that. I don't know. Maybe I should have come up with something, but. It just... But I know I have to make it right one day. I just have to make it right someday. It just...
You're sure you will. You're still learning. You've only been in this industry for what, 2 years now, professionally?
3.
Now?
It's coming up for 4 or 5 this upcoming April.
That's still, not a very long career so far in the wrestling industry.
Yeah, so I mean, I know what she always says to me. She's like, I know she kind of felt heartbroken that night because I think you heard her as well. She just thinks that I deserve it.
Yeah, there's a such thing as deserving things and then taking things,
earning them,
or
earning them, yeah.
You can deserve and earn a shot, but when that shot comes to you, it's up to you to take it and win the match. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but I kind of know in what context she means it, and She means well. I mean, once again, she's amazing. She's competing there over well. She was in the 10 Ladies Stampede.
How'd she do in the Stampede for the 10 Ladies Stampede? I didn't watch the match. For some reason.
She actually did pretty good. She lasted a good time, but then got eliminated by Sandy Stars, who...
Sandy's
once
back?
again... Yeah!
I thought
she actually
Sandy
came
retired.
Back.
She was out making movies and stuff now, huh?
Yeah, big news on that. Sandy Stars is back, but only as a manager for GPW, the current tag team champions.
Is that Jimmy Shadow and Hunter Deal?
Yes, those two.
Those two. I actually like Jimmy Shadow. Something about him. I like Hunter Deal too. Something about those guys. Entertaining couple guys, and if they ever, I don't know if you're friends with them, but if they ever wanted to venture over and check out some episodes of Hybrid, or even come in to spectate, those guys would always be welcome. So
I suppose they'll probably cross over maybe one day. Those two. But anyway, it's been hard. I mean, I'm gonna talk about it on Takedown. I mean, God, it's gonna be good to talk to those fans again. The Takedown fans, besides the NGW ones and the HWA ones, are my favorite.
So
clearly.
CFT, I going back and forth. I'm back in front of the monitor now. CFT says hired gun is a no good thug.
Agreed.
I'm pretty sure most of the world agrees on that. And then he says 2-on-1 handicap. If Wade and Hagen win, they become co-champions. That's pretty interesting.
Okay, that's
Sergio,
interesting.
You see that? That's kind of an interesting thing.
Interesting.
Co-world champion.
I mean, that's rarely
seen. Do they cut the
seen.
belt in half? Do they, take turns holding it? Do each of them, hold one end of it and carry it in the middle? Maybe CFT carries it to the ring for them.
That could be possible.
And they could take turns defending it if they wanted to. That'd be something kind of cool.
All right.
So thoughts on CFT calling you out in 3-dub? CFT called you out in 3-dub, Sander?
Yeah, he did. He's been wanting to fight me.
He likes to fight you, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, once again, we have different views, we have different opinions on stuff, so, once again, if CFT wants to step up to me like he did in NGW, step up to me. Take off that suit and step up to me. That's what I always tell him. He's done it in NGW, so what's stopping him injured him to do that?
What time we got, Sander? We got 43 minutes. Let's go 45. Is there any certain things you want? As I do have other things I've got to handle today.
Well, keep an eye on me. We probably are going to the pool again, I think, or are going to explore more towns. All right, we're going to explore more towns. That's clear. Awesome. Sergio,
make sure
contact
you guys
me.
post some pictures up from your honeymoon.
We'll try.
From places you go.
We'll try.
We'd like to share those on the HWA page.
I think we have. I think the day before we're going to. It's or no.
You know
the
what?
day before
We'll do a special where, if you can provide some pictures of you and Nora, Mrs. Cool, from your honeymoon, they will be exclusively put on the Stephen Benoit Jericho Instagram and Twitter pages, and not on the actual HWA Facebook group. Something kind of a little special, because, I like to get people to look over there sometimes, too.
It has been a while since we've done anything for Twitter. You okay with it? Are you sure? Yeah, okay, so so that's Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, but, the Twitter page, we kind of promised them something, that we would do something special. So this could be it. You're okay with it? You're awesome. All right. We'll try to get some pictures done. We'll try to send some pictures of some places that we went and where we kind of saw. So
yeah, take some pictures of you guys actually in the shots. I know you guys are always taking pictures of cool things you go and do, but I never actually see you guys in it. So there's some speculation that you two, may not actually go there or do this stuff.
Well, we'll try. You know what? We'll try. We'll see. See, we're kind of like that, but yeah, we'll definitely do it.
The world may want to see some Nora and Sander bikini bathing suit pics.
We'll see what we can do. All
right, sounds good. Fair enough.
All right.
Everyone listening, make sure you drop that like button. Subscribe if you have not already. This has been episode number 3 of A Cup of Coffee with SBJ. And I think this is already out of 3 episodes. I believe, Sander Cool, you've already been in 2.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so too. I've been on the first one and this one. You're probably going to be in the Hall of Fame. First ballot voter, Hall of Fame. Cup of Coffee with SBJ member. Oh, we should actually, if we can consider making that something, we should do it. All right, enjoy the rest of your honeymoon. I don't want to take up any more of your time. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, subscribe, hit that like button for us as you watch. Sander Cool, thank you. Enjoy your honeymoon. This is Stephen Benoit Jericho from the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance. Make sure you check out the next episode of Cup of Coffee with SBJ. That'll have Lee Jones, and notably on the same page on the Hybrid Origins podcast playlist, the Iron Bison himself for the first time ever live on a podcast. He's been asked by the elite of the elite podcasters, and he has turned every single one of them down. But he will be joining myself for the very first time on the Hybrid Origins podcast. That's big stuff, Sander. I know. That's going to be a huge one. I'll try to see if we can attend that. All right, everybody. Have a great day. It's been fun.